Hi everyone, welcome back to the kitchen. Today, the internet made me do it. We're going to try these viral internet sensation cinnamon roll hack that I've been seeing everywhere, and I can't wait to show you how this all comes together. Okay, the internet made me do it again. Today we're going to check out this viral cinnamon roll recipe and see if we love it, because frankly I don't see how we can't. It starts off with 2 tubes of grand cinnamon rolls. Now there's 5 in each one. If you want to just make one and cut the recipe in half, I'm sure that that's easily done. You're going to go with about a cup of heavy cream. A lot of people I see make this aren't even really measuring, so they're just pouring it in from the carton. You can also use coffee creamer if you wish. I got approximately 3/4 of a cup of brown sugar, a tablespoon of ground cinnamon, and 1 stick of butter that has been melted. So what we're going to do first is, since I have it all here, is I'm going to go ahead and mix together the brown sugar, the butter, and the cinnamon. And you're just going to mix that up until it comes into like a nice thick. It's not going to be too thick because that butter is already melted, but it's going to be like a little caramel. Kind of like, looks kind of like a sticky bun almost. And then when you eat it, you dish it up out of the pan, you can scoop up this caramel from the bottom and put it over the top. So this is definitely kind of you're going to eat this with a fork. You're not going to pick this up with your fingers because it's going to be kind of messy. Okay, so I'm just going to set this aside, and then we're going to have fun opening the cinnamon rolls. You guys all know how this happens, right? You pull off the wrapper. Some people use a spoon, but I usually just whack it on the counter.
You chase around with your kids around with it.
Right, because it always startles you somehow, right? Mm-hmm. There we go. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get these in the pan, and I'll be right back. All right, so I got the cinnamon rolls in the pan. Now look, if you're like me, they're not going to go in there in a nice even pattern, so don't even try. You can see that I tried to move them a couple of times, so I'm not going to win this. So I just, Rick has to be there to tell me, just stop. Just stop.
Not going to win.
So just pour your heavy cream or your creamer over it. It doesn't have to be in any specific way, and it doesn't matter if it's not like covering all the cinnamon buns. We're going to take our butter and sugar mixture that we did up earlier, and I've seen some people do like pour it right over, but I'm going to go ahead and spoon this over each cinnamon roll. A little bit over each one, and then we'll make sure that everybody gets a somewhat even amount. If there's anybody who's a little bit shy, we'll just make sure they have enough, and then we'll move on to the next step. Okay, the next step is we're going to cover this pan with aluminum foil, and we're going to bake it in a preheated 350-degree oven for 45 minutes. I know that sounds like a long time, but because they're covered and because we've added these extra ingredients, we want to make sure that they're cooked all the way through and that you don't have any raw dough in the center. So, just like this. I know that's probably annoying on the camera, but we're going to get these in the oven. And I forgot to tell you, just set your icing containers aside. We're going to use those later. Certainly wouldn't waste icing, would we? All right, so into the oven these go, and we'll be back when they're done, and we'll show you what they look like. All right, these baked for 45 minutes exactly. I took the foil off of the top for the last 5 minutes though, and then I took them out of the oven and I let them sit and calm down for about a half an hour, because I feel like I've seen people do this and then they immediately take them out of the oven and then they put the icing on it. The icing just melts into nothing and you can't really tell there's icing on it at all. So I decided to do mine this way. So now it's time to put your icing on. These are still warm. And I'm a get every last bit out of the thing person, so.
Paid for it?
Yeah, that's right, I paid for it. And remember, we used 2 containers of cinnamon rolls. So we'll just take this other one and do the same thing. Then we'll spread it around a little. I feel like you really could turn this into a real sticky bun by like adding pecans to it, but I would put those on the bottom and then I would invert them. And I'm just gonna spread it around a little. And I'm using an offset spatula. That's how I prefer to frost these, but you can just use a spoon or even a butter knife out of your drawer. It'll be fine. Now we're gonna taste these viral internet sensations, and we're gonna give you our honest thoughts. So let me go grab a plate. Okay, I wanted to take this out on camera so you guys could see what it looked like. Oh my goodness. Look at that. And there's all this yumminess down here on the bottom, so make sure that if you want to get your share, you can just add that to the top of your cinnamon roll. It's actually kind of absorbed quite nicely, and that's because I let mine cool a little bit longer than some other people that I watched online. So I'm gonna let Rick have the first bite. These look really incredible. Okay, here you go.
Wow.
See, they look homemade.
It tastes just like a cinnamon.
A Cinnabon? Really? See, I've never had one of those. Shocking, I know. I have never had a Cinnabon.
That is incredible.
Y'all, that's my dog. Trying to dig a hole in the floor so she can lay down. Please just never mind. These are delicious.
Oh yeah. Dangerous.
I will say though, they still taste like a refrigerated cinnamon roll, but there's nothing wrong with that. You know, we all use them, and every Christmas, that's our tradition because that's how Rick grew up, was with the cinnamon rolls, and we incorporated the orange rolls into our Christmas morning breakfast. But these are delicious. I would take these to anyone to eat. So you guys, this one is a true winner in my opinion, wouldn't you say?
Oh yeah, definitely.
So there you have it. The viral sensation cinnamon roll hack is definitely something that you should try. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something. I hope that you will go out and buy yourself some grand cinnamon rolls and make these up for your breakfast tomorrow or whenever. And I hope you enjoy them. And until next time, I'll see ya.